Richard Steele once said, reading is to mind what exercise is to body. We couldn't agree more on this, as even research suggests that reading body at any stage helps preserve memory. Reading can help us keep our brain in shape when we are old. Hence, we need to cultivate these habits to reap the benefits at later stages. The secret of getting started ahead is when you start up and take an initiative. A happy evening to one and all present here. I, Jyoti Dubey, TGT English, feel overwhelmed to host this webinar on the theme Reading a Healthy Exercise for Mind with a passionate group of panelists, that is, students of class 6 to 8. I would like to give my gratitude to our Honorable Director Sir, Mr. V.B. Gupta, for his support. It gives me immense pleasure to thank our Honorable Principal Sir, Mr. Vivid Gupta, for conducting and initiating these series of webinars. It is said that you cannot cross the sea by merely watching it. Our Principal Sir is a living example of this. He is visionary, an epitome of leadership. His vision for substantial contribution in the field of education has made us reach the level where we are. In these tough times, we are one of the pioneers to bring in radical change in the delivery system of education. Bal Bhavan will always be thankful for all the initiatives taken up by you, sir. And we are confident enough that we are going to take this school at a whole new level as we got wings to fly high. Also, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to our coordinator ma'am, Ms. Neha Gupta, who is there in each step with us. She has brought the best in us and helped us to move forward. With your blessings, sir and ma'am, we would like to begin the event now. Hereby, I welcome the guest of honor, our moderator for the day, Ms. Shikha Singh, an eloquent speaker pursuing BA Political Science Honours at the Delhi University. She is also the Vice President at Political Science Department of Shahid Bhagat Singh College. She has served as an executive member in the Political Science Association, Delhi University, volunteered at international conference held by Political Science Department on the topic Gandhian way of living life. And trust me, the list is prolonged. Moreover, she is the pride of Bal Bhavan. Yes, our ex-student. Now, without wasting much of the time, I would like to hand over the space to you, ma'am. Over to you, ma'am.
Oh, thank you so much, Jyoti ma'am, for such an overwhelming introduction of mine. It's always a pleasure to be associated with your school. And you know what, when we become alumni by passing out from school, we always seek for such opportunities to become the part of school in one or the other way. Last year also, in the month of October, I guess, yeah, it's the month of October, I chaired a Model United Nation, and it was privilege for me to do so. And the journey started from there, and today I'm the moderator of the webinar. So for this, I would like to extend my gratitude to the principal of our school, Mr. Vivid Gupta sir, and the management who made this webinar possible in the times of COVID, where everyone is, confined to their houses. They are not able to do their daily grind in the sense that it may be going to the office, going to school, going to colleges, going to work, and so on. So we all who are the part of this webinar are blessed enough to have this interactive session. Coming to the topic for the day, that is reading a healthy exercise for mind. It's indeed a really good topic to be discussed upon, especially in terms of, and in the case of COVID, where people are trying to be productive and trying to combat their mental illness and all. So it's rightly said by one of the most renowned personalities, Stephen King, that books are uniquely portable magic. And indeed it is. And books are the lighthouse erected in the great sea of time. In the times of dark, a good book can act as a torch bearer for you, from taking you to the darkness to lightness. So indeed, when you are into a book, you are totally disconnected from the world you are living in, but you live that book. And that's true when people say that when you're going through a book, there's a point where you start to connect yourself to the protagonist to such a point that you even start to, replace yourself and start imagining yourself in that scenario. And that's the best feeling if you read a lot. So by looking yourself into thoroughly engrossing book, indeed you are in a different world. And with this, let's begin our session. We'll start with the introduction round. So I request the panelists to kindly introduce themselves and add 2 or 3 lines about them and deliberate upon the topic, what they feel reading can do in their lives. Okay, so let's start. Vihan, could you please start?
Everything comes to us that belongs to us if we create the capacity to receive it. Hello everyone, my name is Vihan and I am a student of class 8D. Indeed, it was grateful to be a part of this webinar and I would like to thank my school to host this webinar. Also, I would like to thank everyone joining this webinar. My passion is to be a computer engineer and I also love reading books. And my favorite book is Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I think I'm somewhat like Wimpy Kid, as he also sometimes used to do crazy things like me.
Okay, so Vihan, you're sounding very curious about the books related to comics genre, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Vihan, what was the favorite trait of Wimpy Kid that you relate with? Any favorite trait of yours?
I uh, I like the funny moments of the Wimpy Kid, like when he do some crazy things, and I like that.
Okay, so that's great. Moving on to our next panelist, that's Kanishka.
Reading. Reading is the complex cognitive process of decoding symbols to derive meaning. It is a form of language processing. Success in this process is measured as reading comprehension. Reading is a means for language, communication, and sharing information and ideas. Good evening, everyone. I, Kanishka of class 6C. As you know, today is a reading webinar, and I'm happy that I'm the youngest panelist in this webinar. And I loved and I thank to all dignities to present here. As I love to questions a lot, so one adjective that suits me a lot, that is curious.
Okay, so that's great, Kanishka. One should be curious about the things and one should be reasoning enough to reason why the things are taking place around you. So I appreciate that trait of yours. Next panelist is Shanvi.
Your self-worth is determined by you. You don't have to depend on someone else telling you who you are. Before speaking anything else, firstly, I would like to thank my principal sir, senior coordinator ma'am, coordinators and teachers to provide me this amazing platform of reading webinar. And I also want to thank our adorable guest. Hello everybody. Today I Ishanvi Singh of class 7th A. I am 13 years old. I am very talkative. I love to read novels and news. During this lockdown, we don't have supply of English newspaper, but still, I found it some ways to read it as I love reading. I regularly read 2 to 3 articles in a day and also try to spread that news.
Yeah, Ishanvi, that's great because you befit the dialogues of what one of our greatest speakers said, that was necessity is the mother of creation. I know it's the hard time, newspaper is not coming to our houses, but it's great that you are up with an alternative. That's good. Next panelist, Swastik.
Today's reader, tomorrow's leader. Good evening to you all. Swastik is here to welcome you all in this amazing and informative webinar. First, I want to thank Principal Sir and Senior Coordinator Ma'am to give me the opportunity to be the panelist in this webinar. Since childhood, I have a great interaction with books and I think like they are my best friends. So, this is how I get interacted with books. And today, this webinar is only based on the topic reading and basic exercise. I'm feeling enthusiastic to take part in this amazing webinar. Thank you.
Okay, so Swastik, you sound very enthusiastic for books. So any recent book which you have completed and you still cherish or that left an imprint on your minds?
I like the books of Germino Stilton as they excite me a lot. He has written many books, and my favorite, one of the favorite book is Journey Through Time.
Okay, thank you so much, Satvik. Swastik. Next is Divyanshi.
Books are the plane, the train, and the road. They are the destination, the journey, and the home. Good evening to one and all present here. My name is Divyanshi Singh. I am a student of 8th D, and I would like to thank our Honorable Principal Sir who gave me this opportunity to be a part of this wonderful session as a student panelist. My passion for reading is from childhood. Well, I love badminton also. The aim of my life is to become a doctor and to save lives of people. I love to see people healthy.
That's good, Divyanshi. You sound really ambitious to become, and I wish you very well and luck for that thing. Next panelist, Yashasvi.
Keep reading. It's one of the most marvelous adventures anyone can have. I do believe something magical can happen if you read a good book. A very happy evening to all the teachers and my fellow friends. Today, I, Shashvi Avasthi of Class 8, feels pleasure to be a part in this wonderful reading webinar as a student panelist. I want to thank my principal sir and senior coordinator ma'am for giving me such a great opportunity to be here. If I talk about reading, I like to read books with suspense as it increases my interest. If I talk about me, the adjective that describes me is, I think, versatile as I never step back. I always give my best in all my work. So I think this adjective describes me the best.
Yes, Yashasvi, one should be even versatile in personality as well as reading also. Like you should not concentrate yourself to just, science fiction or any comics, but you should be open to all. That's great. Next panelist, Dia.
Reading is to the mind what exercise is to the body. Reading daily could help keep your brain in shape as you reach old age. A very good evening to all my respective teachers and fellow friends. Today, I, Diya Verma of Class 6G, would like to thank our Honorable Principal Sir and Senior Coordinator Ma'am who gave me this wonderful and great opportunity. One word that can describe me is dynamite Diya. If we talk about books, they excite me a lot. I like to read lifestyle books, story books, superhero books, and much more. Thank you so much.
Okay, so that was really good, Dia. Like the word you used for yourself, the adjective you used, dynamic, is really seen in the way you are choosing to read. You are open to all. That's great. Last panelist, Tanmay.
Life has no limitations except the one you make. Hello everyone, I'm Tanmay Negi of class 80 and I'm here to discuss about how reading is an exercise for mind. The adjective for me is techno freak Tanmay. Firstly, I would like to thank my school for giving me such an opportunity to be a part of this webinar. Also, I would like to thank the audience to give their valuable time. Reading books has always been a magical experience in my life. Whenever I read a book, it takes me away from this world of chores to another dimension. The book that is still in my memory is I'm Stuck in Your Kindle. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Tanmay. So the introduction session was not only the introduction session, but I got the injections from all the 8 panelists that what they feel about reading. And after hearing all of you, I'm pretty sure that you guys are like more inclined towards reading and all. And I'll share a instance with you guys where the reading has, helped me a lot. I have been doing Model United Nations since class 11th, and it has been a great journey so far. And reading doesn't only help you to be well versed with your vocabulary or be a good writer, but as well as a very good researcher. If you know what is your content and if you know how you need to be reading it, you will gain the insights in it. And once you gain the insights, your journey of reading will be on an advanced level. Because reading is the connection of neurological units in your brain. It makes your brain function more rapidly, and you ought to have more reading skills and more creative skills than those of people who don't read. So indeed, reading is very important. Yeah, I was talking about the Model United Nation. So in Model United Nation, you are the delegate of a country. If you are not well researched, if you didn't read about the country, you won't be able to contradict people, and you won't be able to even defend you when the opposition will pin you down. So reading there, researching plays a really great role. Moving on to our next round. So in our next segment, you will be shown a video, and I request you all, including the audience as well as the panelists, to carefully watch that video, as panelists have a contest time coming after this. Yeah, so I request the technical department to please play the video.
I often get asked, why should I read more? Why would I bother reading a book when I can just watch a video summary of it? It's true, you can save some time this way, and there is nothing wrong with that. However, reading is to the mind what exercise is to the body, and you can't train your body by just watching YouTube videos. So let's get straight to the facts. Reading improves your focus and concentration. Reading, much like running or listening to music, can be a form of meditation. With all the distractions nowadays, people have really big problems with concentrating. Don't be one of them. In a single 5-minute span, the average person will divide their time between working on a task, checking email, chatting with a couple of people, and using their smartphone. This type of behavior causes stress levels to rise and lowers our productivity. When you read a book, all your attention is focused on the story. The rest of the world is closed off, and you immerse yourself in every fine detail you're absorbing. Try reading for 15 to 20 minutes before work, and you'll be surprised at how much more focused you are once you get to the office. It's also a great relaxation technique. Have you ever felt so tense to the point you dreamt of escaping your life for a while? Surprise! You actually can. You don't need a plane ticket to the other side of the globe. A great book can take you all the way to another dimension. Many people overthink their problems when all they need is a break, so that they could go back to searching for a solution with a clear, relaxed mind. So you're stressed out? Then pick up the goddamn book. Research conducted in 2009 showed that reading is the most effective way to overcome stress, beating out old favorites such as listening to music, enjoying a cup of tea or coffee, or even taking a walk. Measured by evaluating heart rate and muscle tension, it took the study participants just 6 minutes to relax once they started turning pages. So when you lose yourself in a book, you can simply forget all your daily worries. That's assuming you aren't forced to read and aren't reading any heavy texts like legal papers. Scientific studies show that reading actually makes you smarter. Your body needs movement, that means your brain needs movement as well, and reading is the best workout for your mind. It's demanding in a neurological way, plus it requires concentration and intellectual activity. Mental stimulation can slow down the process of dementia and Alzheimer's disease, keeping your brain sharp as you age. Reading is healthy, just like a morning run, so find time for it. Also, everything you read fills your head with new bits of information, and you never know when it might come in handy. The more knowledge you have, the better equipped you are to tackle any challenge you'll ever face. Additionally, if you ever find yourself in dire circumstances, remember that although you might lose everything else, your job, your possessions, your money, even your health, your knowledge can never be taken from you.
Yeah, so that was about the video. So there is a common thing between people that why we need to discuss reading. Reading is a very recurring term being used in our daily life. Why is there a need for a separate webinar to, teach you how to read or why to read. But I would disagree there with the beliefs of people, because see, there are two aspects to reading. One is making your mind to read, that mental conditioning that, okay, fine, I'll read the text today and I'll start from today. And the other half is that you actually implemented that, yes, I'm reading a book. So there is a big difference. People do make up their minds, but not all are successful in implementing it. The reasons are infinite, like distractions could be the reason. You are more busy on your social media accounts like Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, and so on. Or the mismanagement of time, giving more time and more onus to your, academic texts rather than referring your novels, and so on. The reasons are beyond. So, but there is a general thing which we need to understand is that reading never comes in a day. It's a gradual process. You need to invest your time and channelize it properly on daily basis to, actually get into the habit of reading, and it will bear fruits for sure. Talking about the video, in video, one thing, it's been connected to my experience, is that when you are in anxiety or you are stressed about anything, like just imagine you have a meeting, right? So before that meeting, you can spare few minutes and read a text. Trust me, it helps a lot in, releasing your stress. Because when you'll be reading those 4 lines, you'll be completely into that book and not stressing about what next will happen. So this particular exercise, I would also personally recommend you. Also, one more stigma that has been attached to reading books and watching movies. So nowadays, what happens is if a novel is out, after few days, not days, but after few years, there's a movie being coming out on the same book. So people often say that I watched the movie, now I better not read the book. I'll get confused. But it's not like that. I would always tell you to read the book rather than watching the movie. Because movie is a 3-hour pack, right? It's a compact thing, and many of the characters or many of the traits can't be included, and it's not conducive enough. But when you're reading a book, you actually connect with that character so much. You start empathizing yourself with that character. You even at times start questioning the conclusion if you're not like very much agreeing with the conclusion that no, the author should have given the happy ending, it was a tragic ending, and so on. So yeah, so reading helps you to be analytical as well as a great critique of the text you are reading. Moving forward, now we have few questions for our participants. Can we have the question slide, please? Yeah. So the first question is, do you find reading a brainstorming activity? So Kanishka, would you like to answer?
Yeah, sure. Brainstorming activity, reading. Yeah, it is, because when we, what do you mean by brainstorming? It means like group discussion. And when we sit with our friends, family, or you can take teachers also, we do group discussion, like this is good, this is bad. And there's a one benefit it also, that it is also improve our comprehension skill level, like that.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Tanmay, would you like to add on something?
From my perception, reading is not a brainstorming activity, as when you are reading something, actually you are not discussing something. The process of discussing and then getting a conclusion is known as brainstorming. So if you read a novel and then discuss about it with your friends, family, anybody, and get a conclusion, that activity would be known as brainstorming. So from my way, reading is not a brainstorming activity.
Okay, so we have two, contradicting opinions or perspectives from Kanishka and Tanmay. But I would partially agree with Tanmay, because when you are reading it, it's not a complete brainstorming activity, but it is also, because when you're reading a text, you are connecting with the author. The author is in one or the other way imposing his or her thoughts on you. And when you are critiquing it, like you are no, this can't happen this way, this should have been this way. So that's the way when you are exchanging your ideas with the book, and to some extent the brainstorming activity takes place. But when you come to a conclusion, when someone asks you the review of that, from there the main brainstorming activity starts. So thank you, panelists. Moving on to the next slide. Okay, so this is one of the most funny part of our webinar today. I would suggest even the audience to take part at their places. This is the tongue twister, which we all must have tried once in our lives for sure. So in this particular tongue twister, I would like to call Ishanvi. Can you start with this one? Can you take the volunteer?
Yes.
Okay.
First is Peter Pepper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Second, a peck of pickled peppers Peter Pepper picked. If Peter Pepper picked a peck of pickled pepper, where's the peck of pickled pepper Peter Pepper picked?
Okay, that's great. But you need to be a little faster. You know, one of my tongue twisters, what I recall is Betty bought some butter, but the butter was bitter, so she bought the better butter to make the bitter butter better. You need to be this fast to accomplish this challenge. Anyway, Shanvi, you did it really well. Diya, would you like to volunteer?
Sure, ma'am. Peter Pepper picked a pack of pickled peppers. Next, a pack of pickled peppers Peter Pepper picked. Third, if Peter Pepper picked a pack of pickled peppers, where is the pack of pickled peppers Peter Pepper picked? Thank you.
Okay, that was good, Diya. Both of you did really well. Next slide, please. Yeah. So here we are having a paragraph. You need to spot the errors and read the passage again as quickly as possible. So if you see this para, here the alphabets within the words are jumbled. So let's see. Vihan, would you like to start?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. It doesn't matter in what order the letters in a word are. The only important thing is that the first and last letter be at the right place. The rest can be a total mess, and you can still read it without problem. This is because the human mind does not read every letter by itself, but the word as a whole.
Okay, great. It was a good one. Next, Yashasvi, would you like to volunteer?
Yeah, sure, ma'am. It doesn't matter in what order the letters in a word are. The only important thing is that the first and last letter be at the right place. The rest can be a total mess and you can still read it without problem. This is because the human mind does not read every letter by itself, but the word as a whole.
Yeah, keep it up, guys. You did it really well. You know, why were you able to read it? Because you are in a regular habit of reading things. When you are in a regular habit of reading things, no matter how messed up, as there was a line, how messed up the words are, you will actually be able to come up with a proper solution. So yeah, next slide, please. So the fourth question is reading a cognitive stimulation? Do you agree or not? So Devyanshi, would you like to answer?
Yes, sure, ma'am. I really agree with this statement, as reading is a great way for stimulating brain and boosting the cognitive skills among individuals. And ma'am, moreover, reading something interesting also helps in absorbing interesting information, and while at the same time you enhance your vocabulary also, and all that additional skills.
Yes, Divyanshi, I totally agree with you. Reading is same, but the purpose can be different. It can be for the leisure activity, for calming yourself down, for the informative or intensive going through a text as well. But people often ask me that is it like reading is more concentrated towards English because we are having that pre-colonization dominance, but it's not like that. We can use any of the language, whether it's Sanskrit, Hindi, or any of the languages. But you need to read. The purpose is reading. It's never being the purpose that it's never in the core position that you need to pick up a certain language before reading. So yes, and one more thing which the people who are not in a habit of reading face is that in school when you are being asked to do a comprehension or any unseen passage which even appears in the section A of your English paper, people are not able to, grasp the gist of it and answer the questions quickly. And exams, you are time bounded, so you have to make it done fast. So I would suggest there's a small tip, because few of the students, when we were discussing in a very informal way, asked me, you get a reading time, 15 minutes of reading time before starting your exam, right? In any exam. So just mark the important lines in that paragraph and then come back to that section, and trust me, you will hone it. You know what the answer is, and it will save time as well. Moving on to our next round, that is the question hour round. So in this particular round, I'll be questioning each of the panelists. So yeah, let's begin. So the first question is for Yashasvi. How does reading add essence to your life?
I think reading is important for me because reading is the best way to improve our memory, vocabulary, and especially our mind. According to me, books are magical. If you get a book in your hand, you just get into that world. From my childhood, I only read those books that were given me during my library period, and I remember that I used to eagerly wait for that. I thought of buying a book, and so I requested to my sister. And on my birthday, my wish was fulfilled. I got a storybook of Thea Silton, The Niagara Falls. And at that time, believe me, I was really fascinated for all the books that she used to write. My friends also were having her books, and sometimes I used to borrow from them also. And as my wish was fulfilled, I decided to read one chapter a day. Then, after some days, the book got finished, but my imagination was not finished yet. I used to draw the characters of the book, and seriously, I have those drawings till now. I use the new words that I learned. So, for me, reading is very essential part of our life. I think reading is like a flare. My reading had been started from the childhood. It is still going on, and I'm sure I'll keep reading.
Yes, indeed, Yashasvi, you should keep reading. And there should be a fire in the belly that if this novel has been completed, we should switch to another and another, and the saga should continue. It should never stop. Thank you so much, panelist. Next panelist, Divyanshi. So your question is, apart from your textbooks in terms of reading, what fascinates you the most?
If I talk about myself, I love to read folk tales and biographies. I have read the world funniest folk tales, Adventure on the Wheels, and Calling Semuth. Ma'am, but really, the book which fascinated me the most was Calling Semuth, as it was a biography of Semuth Khan. She was an Indian spy, and her character inspired me a lot. I wish I could be as brave she was, and I want to make my country proud as she did.
Yeah, so Divyanshi is the best example where book can even make you and inspire you in such a way that you actually want to become that protagonist and do wonders in your life. Thank you so much, Divyanshi. Next panelist, Vihan. So my question is, there are thousands of laws for stress, and one antidote to stress is reading. Can you comment on this?
Yes, ma'am. I think reading is a stress buster because when I read books, I think it's a way to escape the real world and the problems also. So reading books distracts me from my stress. Also, when I'm tired by doing my homework, I used to read books and I really feel better.
Yeah, indeed, Vihan. Okay, moving on to the next panelist, Tanmay. Word carries a beauty to escape thoughts, beliefs, and enriches our vocabulary. Do you feel the same for reading?
Well, I think that reading increases our vocabulary as when we read it increase our exposure to new words, and eventually it makes it easier to stick for words. However, it itself doesn't guarantee you a high vocabulary. It totally depends on you how you deal with it. It's more important to be curious about words around you and to verify that you actually know their meanings. The often a word is used, the longer it will endure.
Yes, I totally agree with your closing statement. So whenever you read a book now, just jot down those important words and go back to the dictionary. I would not tell to Google it, because if you are opening a dictionary for searching that particular word, you will be able to, learn 10 more words in that thing. So do use a dictionary and never a Google for, knowing the meanings of word. Next panelist, thank you Tanmay. Next panelist is Shanvi. My question is, the reading of all good books is like a conversation with the finest minds. Can you mention a book that left imprint on your mind?
Yeah, I remembered the book of Lost in Space by Kevin Emerson. It was the best book I have read till now. It was really fascinating story about 50 of families who lost in space. They scrutinized many of the planet. The whole story of Lost in Space take me into the world of imagination. I felt like I am lost in my own world of imagination. The whole story is of suspense, and now I'm eagerly waiting for its next part. I also read many of the stories like that, but I can't find stories like that.
Okay, that's great. It's Shanvi. It sounds like a science fiction novel. And even I find the science fiction and novels containing criminal and thriller thing very interesting. Okay, thank you so much. Moving on to the next panelist, Divyanshi. And your question is reading confined just to books?
Uh, Actually, I don't agree with the statement that really reading only confined to books. If I talk about myself, I do read newspapers a lot. I mainly focus on the weather forecast and morning jokes, which makes me feel happy. But if specifically, I read sports section in the newspaper the most, and I try to solve the puzzles also. Right now in this pandemic, I'm not reading newspapers. Like we are not getting newspapers, but I'm reading them online, and I think we all should read newspapers.
Yeah, that's one of the most important things pointed out by Divyanshi, that newspaper can do wonders which even novels and journals can't do, because it's having the current affairs. It will make you more informed about the world. And Divyanshi, and not only Divyanshi, I would suggest everyone to do read the editorial page of the newspaper, because it's having the views of the editors, and you will learn how to hone those views when you will be coming up to writing. It will also add up to your writing skills as well. Okay, moving on to the next panelist, Swastik. What kind of section or field interests you the most, and why?
The most exciting part I like is suspense because it gives me to the path of a world full of imagination. The most suspense book I like is Tom Gates because it has 9 parts and is full of thrill. And you won't believe, I'm keep checking Amazon for the upcoming parts. Whenever my school organizes any book fair, I always buy that book and start hunting for it. I don't know about others, but my favorite section would always be thriller.
Okay, that's great, Swastik. So, what's the last thriller book did you read?
I have last read the thriller book is that Bad Guys. I have read Bad Guys 6th part, so it is also a very thriller book, and
Okay,
I
so
liked it.
okay, so will you recommend it to the audience as well?
Yeah, it's about it is very fascinating as the author has written its many parts, so all should also read that book also.
Okay, so audience, you have a new reading wish list by Swastik also. Moving on to the next panelist, Kanishka. In this competitive world where academics is considered as one of the most important factors to move forward in life, how do you strike the balance between academic books and the books which you like?
Yes, at many times I find it hard to strike a balance between reading academic and novel because reading comics, novel, magazine, and other recreational material is quite fun. And the easy part of it is that you do it technically for yourself because nothing is expected of you than to enjoy the ride, whereas academic reading is needed to complete a written project. assignment, and other theoretical issues. But on the other hand, in academics, students look at reading like a requirement, and they have yet to tap into reading material that they can connect with a new and interesting ways. Having a negative perspective on reading can hurt a student's achievement over time. That's why it's important to not only celebrate reading as both an academic tool and a fun part, but to pay close attention to how your students feel when it comes to time to pick up a book. We need to maintain a balance between the both, as one pave a way to towards entertainment while the other provides knowledge.
Indeed,
Thank you.
Kanishka, I agree with your one of the points that you mentioned in the beginning. That was that you actually, because a smart kid will always strike a balance between your academic books and novels. But there's always a time, like in your exam times, you would obviously be giving more importance to your books, but in your leisure time, you can carry on with the novels, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, next panelist, Dia. How does reading as a skill leads to development of an additional skill in a person?
Ma'am, I think that reading books having a positive message or teaching can inculcate the feeling of self-confidence and self-belief in us. Uh, it, it can teach us the values like courage and self-respect. Books help us to come out of problems by following the teachings of some great personalities. Books on good thoughts and inspiring quotes give positive vibes and take away the negativity from our lives. Thank you.
Yes, they are. It's absolutely right. Books do create an optimistic thinking in a person. And what I believe, I would like to add on and extend to your question. It's like when you are reading a book, it not only enhances your comprehensive and more you are being more comprehending towards the text, but it also helps you as it's already improving your vocabulary. So if your vocabulary is improved, your writing skills will upgrade, and if your writing skills is upgrade, somehow in one or the other way your speaking skills will also improve. So see, reading is, giving two ways. You can improve your writing as well, you can improve your speaking as well. So now coming towards the validatory part of the webinar, hope the webinar was very intriguing and as well as very informative to everyone present over here. It's whether the panelists or the audience as well. And reading is never about struggling. If you are struggling to read, that means you are not able to comprehend the text, you won't be enjoying it. And if someone is imposing a text on you, like sometimes there are texts in school which we don't like, or the theories in history or in any other subject which we really don't like, but we are made to learn that because obviously it's the part of your scholastic area. But you will realize that the thing which interests you the most, you grasp and learn that thing way more quick than that of the things which you find it difficult and disinteresting. So yeah, and thinking about what reading is, it's a cognitive process of decoding symbols and deconstructing what the author wants to say. You after at a very you guys are like really young for this, but if you will start now, like we always say, you have to start somewhere. If you're starting it at this point, like 6th, 7th or 8th grade, at an advanced stage, maybe in your graduation or maybe in your +2, you will be gaining the confidence of providing the best critique of the book. In fact, there are columns where you publish your critique, your feedback for the books. That can only happen if you are in a habit of reading. An early reader or the reader who is pioneering the activity of reading would never let you, give the critique of any book. But that needs a researching, that needs a ruthless, intensive reading of the book. So a person may read to enjoy, or the person may read to gain information, or even to verify the information. So that's all from my side. Now it's over to you, Jyoti ma'am. Is there any question from the audience? So it's most welcome.
Yeah, sure. There is one question that came up. Am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am, you are.
Yeah, there was one question from Gauri Vadera. She
Okay.
stated that, ma'am, as you stated earlier, that we usually define ourselves as the protagonist, right?
Hmm.
So, if you would like to share your experience, is there any book that you can relate to yourself with?
Okay, so this is a very nice question. Thanks for the question. So when I was, I have read almost all the series of Sherlock Holmes. So as I already mentioned that I'm more inclined towards, thriller novel, criminal novel. So at times I used to get into the personality of Sherlock Holmes, that how can we investigate this particular case. If this case would have been investigated in such a way, I guess the conclusion would have been drawn more easily than the way Sherlock Holmes did. So there are many, but yeah, this popped it in my mind.
Yeah, that was really a nice series, and the students also know because they have got this chance to study this in their storybook. And the first chapter fascinates them the most, the red-headed lead. I guess Gauri can relate with the same. There is another question came up, and this is like we would like to know from you the latest book that you are reading, like currently you're reading. So,
Okay.
would you like to ponder?
Yeah. Which I am currently reading is The Power of the Subconscious Mind. It's by Dr. Joseph Murphy. So it's a book. I'll just give a little brief about the book. It's like you have physically you have, like, anatomically you have one mind, but it has two parts, like the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. So conscious mind, you can control it in some other way, but subconscious mind never questions you. The thoughts which you will impose, it will act in that way. So it's like if you are able to control the subconscious mind, you will be able to discover the success of life. So I am in between of that, so I won't say a lot about that book right now.
Okay, thank you so much. And most of the problem we do also face, and many people out there face that some of the people don't have the flair for reading. So, would you like to give one tip that would be helpful for all of us, that how we can inculcate this interest in reading from the very beginning?
Sure, ma'am. So, ma'am, reading is a habit. It needs to be in a habit if you want to read to an advanced level, or if you are really having that flair of making reading as a skill, then you should divide the portions. I'm not telling that pick up a novel and you have to do it in 1 hour and no, it's practically not possible if you are pioneering it. So you can divide the portions, like from Sunday to Saturday, like the entire week, that I'll read the first chapter, I'll comprehend the text, then I'll give a break for the day, and the next day I'll resume from the next chapter. So I guess when I started reading it in portions. Even the newspaper, it's not really possible for you to, read the newspaper entirely. You can read the newspaper entirely with the help of the headlines, but you can't read every like text present under that headline. So I would say divide it in portions, personalize your text, and go ahead.
Really great. And here I would also like to add to all the young participants are there, since those who fail in reading or face problem in reading, you can start up with first listening, then come to try to speak, and then come to the reading. Because if you see, we talk about any language, we have four skill: listening, speaking, reading, and then coming to writing. So you can take part in poem recitation competitions, role plays, maybe a group discussion, a small discussion with your family members. That's how we learn a language, or we can inculcate reading alongside. Yeah. So indeed, it was a nice session, and there's a lot of questions pop up, but we, due to shortage of the time, we cannot be considering all of them. At last, I just want to conclude that this is the time, students, I would say, that feel the need to read. And hereby, I invite our Honorable Principal, Sir, Mr. Vivid Gupta, for vote of thanks and express his words of wisdom. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Jyoti ma'am, for giving me an opportunity to propose the vote of thanks for this enriching session. Good evening, all the participants, students, parents, and my dear colleagues. I would like to start with a quote. A child who reads will be an adult who thinks. And I believe that all the parents, all the teachers, and even the students want that they should grow up as thinkers and do wonders in their future life. Believe it or not, reading adds to your experiences and allows you to think critically. It gives you a way for problem solving. And since CBSE has been instigating all the schools to celebrate reading weeks, so the latest circular that came up, and we had asked all our students to hang on to their books and start reading. So we thought that this week our topic should be related to reading itself, and that's how we came up on this particular theme: reading, a healthy exercise for mind. So I wish that all my students take this opportunity and find a time in their schedule where at least they pick up the book and start reading, flipping the pages. It's not important for you to understand each and every word of the text that you're reading, but at least start having the flavor of what you're reading. This will expand your horizons of experiences, and that's very, very important. I take this opportunity to thank Shikha for sparing out time to be here with us this evening. Thank you, Shikha, for coming out and sharing your valuable thoughts on the theme, reading, a healthy exercise for mind. I have personally known you, and I've seen you growing as a responsible and mature individual. And I wish that you create spaces for yourself and flourish in future endeavors as well. Congratulations for being back to school, being with us once again, and sparing out this beautiful 1 hour with us. I congratulate all my dear students panelists for successfully grabbing onto this opportunity and confidently expressing their views on this platform. Believe me, the students who were there today are students of classes 6 to 8, and it is a daring effort to come on this platform where they know that the world is watching them, and coming up and sharing their opinions and views so confidently makes me really elated, and I really feel proud that these are my students. I sincerely wish that with this experience you spread your wings and fly high to achieve the zenith. At the same time, I take this opportunity to thank our mentor, our guide, the director of the school, Shri Bibi Gupta ji, for always leading us to achieve the best. I think it is his motivation that supports us, that pushes us to try new things and succeed also. Sir, under your guidance and mentorship, all of us are shining bright. Thank you for your continued support. I also extend a heartfelt thanks to Mrs. Kavita Mehrotra, the headmistress of the school, all my coordinators who are supporting the cause for furthering the education and making such events a huge success. I recognize the contribution of my team members, Ms. Jyoti Dubey for being the perfect host this evening for this webinar, Ms. Deepti Sareen for her background support, Mrs. Jatinder Kaur, Ms. Sakshi, and last but not the least, Mr. Sumit Diwan, who's always there, heads up for his technical support that he provides us during all our previous webinars, and even during the virtual assemblies. He has been one person who makes it successful for all of us. I appreciate all the efforts that all of you have put in to make this session, to make this webinar a successful one, and I congratulate all of you for your endeavors. As we know that no successful session is possible without the lovely audience and their contribution, I take this opportunity to thank you once again for being the lovely audience, sharing your valuable questions with us, and being a part of this lovely session. Thank you, audience, and thank you for being here and motivating us with your presence. We hope to see you soon on the other side next week, but maybe in a different form. We probably will not have a webinar. We are planning to start our inter-house competition, so you will see a different side of the live sessions that we are going to do. Until then, I bid a goodbye to all of you. Take care, stay indoors and stay safe. Signing off, this is Vivid Gupta, Principal, Bal Bhavan Public School, Mayurya Phase 2. Thank you, everybody.